Now, let's hear from the former President Joe Biden, who was honoured at the National Bar Association Gala event in Chicago over the weekend. And he made some observations about the Trump administration here.
Immigrants who are in this country legally, torn from the arms of their family, dragged away in handcuffs from the only home they've ever known. My friends, we need to face the hard truth of this administration. It has been to ease all the gains we've made in my administration, to erase history.
Kosha, is Joe confused again? Because that's how elections work. The new guy comes in and he implements his policies that his people voted for, but he seems outraged there. It's like they're erasing history.
He is confused about a lot of things. And this, I think, least among them. His former boss, President Obama, famously said, with my pen and my phone, I can do all sorts of things to reverse executive actions that were taken before him, and he did. And so did Biden himself do that. So, yes, that's what happens. It was not lost on me that he is being trotted out to keynote at the Bar Association, which has become a politicized organization. They're going after some of Trump's lawyers, trying to disbar them. All that's happening. So I don't think it was a coincidence that they chose to bring him out and put him there in the keynote
They
spot.
gave him an award on the night, so he was out there. But I do wonder if the Democrats are happy with Joe Biden being continuously in the media. About a week or so ago, we had his son, Hunter Biden, again, causing all sorts of headlines and trouble for the Democrats. No one would want him out there just going through what happened in the last 4 years.
The dirty laundry.
What chance of that? Could they appoint him to some sort of a body? Can they make him chair of something so he's got some obligation to not damage the brand further?
Hunter and Senior as well. I think both of them are a problem there. And you're right, because he's not the best spokesperson for them. You also have Kamala out there now doing a soft launch with her book. So there's nobody really that is doing that. And that's why you've got the Mamdanis of the world, AOC, who's actually raising money and doing very, very well. And she is articulate and she does have conviction for her positions, though fringe as they may be, versus these guys are not helping. He's still arguing the illegal immigration point, which is like an 80-20 issue now in favor of the Trump administration's policy agenda. So he's not helping the party, and they seem to be a little bit lost in the wilderness until they find a leader, a de facto leader who can speak well.
And Kamala was asked who is the current leader of the Democrats. She was on the Steve Colbert show and she couldn't come up with an answer. She, in fact, had no nominations and we got some sort of a word salad from her, as we often do. Now, before you go, President Trump has threatened India with even higher tariffs. They've already got a fairly poor deal with 25% tariff rate. And he's making this threat because India is buying oil from Russia. And we spoke about this last week. Trump really is fairly artfully using this tariff policy to get the foreign policy outcomes that he wants.
He does. It is a multi-layered lever for him, certainly for economics and pouring in external revenue, which has been happening. Also as a bargaining chip with Canada and Mexico, for instance, around the fentanyl and border issue. He's tying it together with tariffs. Now here, this one is a little bit controversial, where he is paying a price with his base that does not want the U.S. to interfere much more in the Ukraine-Russia saga. Certainly not militarily, but even this way, sort of going to quote-unquote war, economic war with allies like India for Russia. It's not something that has consensus in his base. But obviously he is frustrated with that war that he said famously he would end in 24 hours. Has not happened. He's been frustrated with Putin in recent weeks, and so he's trying this, and we'll see where it goes.
You're right. It's not popular with the base, and the same phenomenon is evident with Israel, probably to a greater extent, where he's making certain decisions based on how that country looks at Israel. And again, elements of the base don't want that. They want a pure America First approach.
It's become a polarizing issue for sure.